Welcome back, YouTubers, to another topical video on this Wednesday evening, or whenever you're watching this, with your boys, the British Fist. Ka-ching. We should definitely copyright that term with me, Mr. Parkin, and this guy sitting next to me is the one and only. He's bumping to some hip-hop. Oh yeah, I'm no hip-hop artist, but this is NJ sitting here at...
What's up?
What's up, indeed. Subscribe up above, like this video, and comment your thoughts on this video down in the comment section below, bitch.
Make sure you contact us in the link in the video box below.
Man, do you think I'd make a good gangster rapper, NJ?
You should do.
If you said no there, I would have totally understood. But anyway, in this video, we're going to be talking a little bit about the recent TNA World Title win of Austin Aries, and we want to talk more specifically about how this may possibly affect the Bound for Glory pay-per-view. More to the point, Bobby Roode and James Storm. We'd like to get your thoughts on this. What do you think of Austin Aries' title win? How do you think this will affect one of the biggest matches of the year for TNA going into Bound for Glory? This is going to be an interesting video, this one. There's going to be a lot of different opinions out there on this.
Very true. And at the last pay-per-view we've just witnessed, miniature CM Punk is now the World Heavyweight Champion for TNA.
He is indeed. And what a great moment it was. I think one thing we cannot take away from TNA at Destination X is they gave Aries the world title. No one thought they would do it. They did the unthinkable in giving Austin Aries the title. We all thought they were going to keep the belt on Roode, and it was a fantastic feel-good moment for internet fans alike, for fans of Austin Aries, for Austin Aries fans, and they effectively established Option C, meaning that the X Division champion can beat the world champion, which really give legitimacy to the X Division title. And now they've made Austin Aries a main eventer. They made him a star. They did it at Destination X, the perfect time they could do it, even though, like we will go on in a minute, it may have affected Bound for Glory.
Because the thing is, with Destination X, it's been a whole year now, and obviously with this whole year progressing from Destination X to Destination X, we've seen the growth of Austin Aries. He's been able to show his wrestling skills, his mic skills. Yes, and he's gradually started to go up against the best now, so I'll say TNA have done wonders for Austin Aries. So for him to go up to this pay-per-view, get this shot that he rightfully deserves, as Hogan would say, is definitely going the right path. Yeah,
and they've pushed him well, they've booked him well. He's probably been the best booked and most consistent guy in wrestling, period, over the last year or so since the last Destination X. So he thoroughly deserves it. He beat Bobby Roode clean in the main event of Destination X. A fantastic moment to end a pay-per-view, and it's one of those rare highlights you get in a year where you legitimately mark out and you're legitimately emotionally invested. I mean, we both love Austin Aries. I mean, I don't know about you, NJ, but I was shocked. But I was shocked in a good way. Like, my God, I can't believe they did this.
Well, the way the match was going, we had the Roode being the dominant heel, strongly booked against Aries, which was the way it needed to go. Because obviously, Roode was the champion at the time and the one who's being the top of TNA, and Aries was the rising star. So for him to get the final win at the end was a surprise. It surprised Roode, it surprised the fans around the arena and us. It was very nicely done, and rightfully so deserved.
And TNA showed WWE how to complete a push. This is the kind of thing that should have been done with Del Rio at WrestleMania 27. But we're very glad that Austin Aries won the title. But more important topics in hand is, how will this really affect the Bound for Glory pay-per-view, the biggest pay-per-view of the year? More specifically, a big money drawing, probably the biggest match TNA could have put on in Roode versus Storm. And I think the first thing we can say about this is that Austin Aries winning the belt has thrown everything in proportion now, isn't it? Because Bound for Glory has now become way less predictable. We all thought it was going to be definitely Roode versus Storm, Storm winning the Bound for Glory series. Now Austin Aries has won the belt. It's like, I don't know what the fuck's going to happen at Bound for Glory anymore. That could be seen as a good thing.
Well, going to Destination Next, I did think TNA are definitely ruining this Bound for Glory series for me just because of how well they were booking Storm. And I know it's still early days, so they could keep Storm the dominant guy in this series. But at this moment in time, we now have a base as the world champion. So now all the heels in the Bound for Glory series are going to try extra hard and hopefully get better booking, so we believe in them more to get the chance of winning.
Yeah, indeed. And you do wonder now, I think the biggest question here really, is Aries going to go all the way to Bound for Glory with that belt? I personally don't think he will go. I think they will put the belt back on Roode and possibly then have the James Storm and Bobby Roode match. But you know, with the Aries title win, as much of a great moment that was, it has taken a lot of momentum away from that story and that potentially big money drawing story, which was Bobby Roode versus James Storm. I love the fact that Austin Aries won the belt. I'm very happy, but at the same time, I'm kind of looking at things in perspective and thinking, man, that year-long title reign was what was going to really make this story and make this seem special when Storm finally won that belt. Now Aries has cashed in on all that momentum, and as much as I like it, I feel a bit sorry for James Storm personally.
And there's a lot of fans I've realised through our comments that don't really want to see the Roode and Storm just for the reason that it's been done before, blah, blah, blah. But this time round was meant to be the actual match they're actually building up to through the whole year. But now they've given it to Aries. It's like all this stuff you've been building up to, Storm promos, Roode's build, it was all adding up to this, and then you just like swerved it and given the belt to someone that is not going to go off and face Storm. It's kind of throwing people's attention away from the match that they were building up to. In my opinion, I don't fully like what they've suddenly done, especially when throughout the whole year, the idea in our mind was Storm vs Roode for the belt.
You cannot deny, though, that people are definitely going to be interested in Austin Aries as the champion. Whether or not he will draw as a champion, we do not know. But I think a big question here that we need to raise is, was it worth using Roode's momentum to give Aries the win as opposed to James Storm? Now, the reason why the James Storm and Bobby Roode story was going to work is because of all this momentum that you have with Bobby Roode being a heel champion for a year and then James Storm finally getting the redemption on the belt. That story seems set in stone, and now that this whole Aries title win has happened, it's really thrown that out of proportion. And let's give our opinions on this. Do you think it was worth to cash Roode's momentum in on Austin Aries for Destination X rather than save it for Bound for Glory? Your quick thoughts?
Well, two-sided again. Again, I'm going to say yes. Having Roode and Aries, or Aries using Roode's momentum to give him the big win was good, because basically the younger guy needs someone really big to give him the push. And if he was going to do this option C and go for the world title, why not do this direction they've gone in? And now Roode has put Aries over as a main eventer and a future main eventer going up to Bound for Glory or so on. But at the same time, no, because the whole year, as I've said earlier, was screaming out Bobby Roode, World Heavyweight Champion, and Storm, the contender that's actually going to go for Bound for Glory and probably win the belt that he deserves.
And this is where the unpredictability factor comes in. Do you want to build up to something very predictable, or would you rather really make it? And I think that's what the title win has done. That could be seen as a bad or a good thing, and you guys let us know down in the comment section below. As for Aries cashing in on Roode's momentum and TNA booking him to win, I'm also a little bit on the fence. I like the fact that they've they've essentially made a star in Austin Aries now. He is a main eventer. They were going to do that and make that to use Storm as a main eventer. He's kind of already there. So they have made essentially, they were going to make a star either way, in either Aries or James Storm. I think Aries deserved to cash in on the momentum that Roode has, even though I do feel for the sake of the bigger storyline that it should not have happened, but I cannot take away the fact that Austin Aries as the TNA World Heavyweight Champion is a very pleasing thought to me. And, you sort of, when Austin Aries won, you kind of thought to yourself, man, well, this can't happen. This really can't happen. It's one of those legit moments where you think to yourself, I just cannot believe this is happening. And TNA have given that to us. And that can be seen as a good thing by some and a bad thing by others. And it's just, you guys debate down below what you think. But I am also with NJ on the fence. I like the fact that Aries has won the belt, but I can't help but think that the Roode and Storm story has had a little bit of momentum taken away from it because of that, and probably won't be as interesting to some people now, despite building it for essentially like a year now. It kind of seems like a bit of a waste of a year of cultivating when they've done this.
And that's true, because the WWE did have that same end it could happen in the wrestling business. And at the beginning of the year, there was the whole idea of Storm and Roode going all the way, and obviously have their payoff at Bound for Glory, which was the money-making pay-per-view. And now they've had this swerve, which is the whole end can happen. And now they've changed the whole year idea and gone down a different route. And yes, we've spoke many times about the belt could get dropped back to Roode. But the question is, do we want to see that?
Do we want to see the belt going back to Roode?
Yeah.
In what sense? In what sense?
Well, if they are still going to make the whole Roode versus Storm actually happen at Bound for Glory, do we actually want to see the belt get dropped from Aries back onto Roode just so that match can still be for the title, or do we want to see Aries remain the champion and go for Bound for Glory, getting this big win at a big pay-per-view like Bound for Glory?
Do you know, that could be an interesting proposition. You've got a guaranteed good title match in Austin Aries versus like maybe a Kurt Angle or a Samoa Joe or something like that, and you've also got the prospect of Roode versus Storm. And even though it would mean less in a non-title match, it still has the story behind it. And hell, you could just swerve it and say, that James Storm doesn't care about the belt anymore. He just wants redemption on Roode, as that's more important to him right now after a year of waiting for it. But you know, Storm and Roode could be a non-title match. They could give the belt back to Roode. Who really knows? But Austin Aries as champion. In the short term, I think a lot of people will be for it, but maybe in a while time, TNA may live to maybe slightly regret that decision. But for now, I'm going to see where they're going. But in the future, they may look back and think, maybe shouldn't have given Aries the belt there. We could have saved this for a later date, possibly. But they gave him a lot of momentum, and to complete the push like they did was very good, and also makes the Bound for Glory pay-per-view and series now a lot more unpredictable, which was kind of what it needed in a sense, because it was getting kind of predictable, wasn't it? We were all thinking it was definitely going to be Roode versus Storm.
So I think that is true, and I'm going to be behind Austin Aries through this build-up to when he goes to defend the title next. But at the same time, I look at the match that we could have got. Yes, you could say it before non-title, but the way that Storm's been speaking, he says, I hope you're still the champion. I want to face you for the belt. I want to get my belt. The way they've had Storm really want to get to redemption to become the champion that, let's say, Roode stole from him, it kind of makes us think that if it is for non-title, it's not going to have that much importance. It's going to have the redemption side, but not the belt that Storm really, really wants to prove that he is the next big champion.
Yeah, and I guess really the whole point of this video really is the argument between, was it worth giving Aries the belt over maybe progressing a bigger storyline? That is really, I mean, you look at Destination X and it looked like they really wanted to cement that option C, and they wanted to cement that a guy like Austin Aries could beat a guy like Bobby Roode clean. But maybe it has come at the expense of Bound for Glory. Maybe they'll give Austin Aries a short title run. I always feel that the first title run should be a good one. It'll be a little bit of a shame, even though I'm glad and very pleased that Austin Aries has won the title. If he only gets like 1 or 2 months, it'll be a little bit of a shame, which may be the one negative that comes out of this. If they I said do. There you go. If they do Roode versus Storm. Hey, I said do again.
Yeah, they pretty much did. Well, my thoughts are, I could have many different thoughts. Yes, I'm more against at this moment in time, but obviously it's more depending on the viewers of this video.
We'll see. I mean, we will see where this goes. This has definitely got us interested. It's made the Bound for Glory series and Bound for Glory pay-per-view main event a lot more unpredictable. So it'll be interesting to see where they go, if nothing else, really.
That is true, very true.
And Austin Aries as champion. That's a go. Oh man, I can't wait to watch Impact this Thursday. I'm just saying. You got any more thoughts on this topic, NJ?
Well, I've got a few words for Bobby Roode. Okay. Sorry about your damn luck.
Yeah, you couldn't kick out of that brainbuster, could you, buddy? But anyway, what's more important to us, guys? We talked about this for a while now. We want to know your thoughts. There's going to be a lot of conflicting and contrasting opinions out there in the YWC. So give us your thoughts on Austin Aries' title win, but more importantly, how has this positively or negatively affected Bound for Glory? You give us your thoughts down in that comment section below. And thank you for watching this video, guys. That's one thing I do want to get out there. Thank you for watching and commenting on our videos.
It's very good for us to do, because this was definitely a big talking point straight after a pay-per-view that was two-sided from different people's opinion.
Very good.
Now we're just wondering what the future is for Bobby Roode, James Storm, Austin Aries, and the Bound for Glory winner. Indeed
so. So thank you very much for watching this video. I have been Mr. Parkin, and just because I know you guys want to see this one more time, we're definitely going to have to copyright this. But NJ, do it!
What's up?
Indeed. Now, thank you very much for watching, and I'm going to hand you over to NJ to say goodbye.
Thank you very much, people. This has been a video from Mr. Parkin and me, NJ, the British Fist. And until next time, YouTubers, thank you very much, and goodbye.